Modesty is a difficult concept to define in precise terms because modesty varies from culture to culture. I've been to India on a couple of occasions, and an Indian lady may come into church and all of this is exposed. But that's modest in India. That's not modest in Little Rock. Are you following me? So don't tell me I saw a woman do, no, that's modest in India. I was in Ghana, and there was a guy on the pulpit. He seemed to be wrapped in a bed sheet. It wasn't a bed sheet, but it looked just wrapped just around, and most of this out. But that's modest in Ghana. And so modesty depends on where you are, but there is a unifying theme regarding modesty, and that theme is the Holy Spirit of God. The Spirit of God will guide, and you see, the church cannot provide microscopic guidance in every little detail of the believer's life. There must be room for the Spirit of God to say, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. And so what I recommend to you is you ask. Last night I said, everything must be done for the glory of God. Before you dress, before you buy an outfit, dress, pants, whatever, shoes, before you go to the barber for a hairstyle, you ladies, men too, ask God, Father, is this for your glory? If it's not, keep waiting for the Spirit to convict you. I was in Namibia, and I was talking to young people one Sunday morning, and I stressed the principle of for the glory of God without exception. The way you dress, your hair, your shoes, your relationships, your food, every single thing, will this glorify God? And there was a young lady present. She had a hairstyle. I mean, this thing was huge. I like to call it an eagle's nest sitting on her head. That's the way it looked. And I said, okay, all right. Next morning, I was doing one-to-one counseling, and she came, and I didn't recognize her. She said, you recognize me? I said, no. She said, I am the lady who had this. Oh. I said, what happened? She said, as I listened to you, I was convicted because I realized I did not make this choice for the glory of God. I was simply following fashion. And she cut it off the very day. Went off into canvassing. I mean, just a conviction on hairstyle took her into canvassing and medical missionary work. She was convicted. Let me tell you what's missing in many of our decisions. Honesty. We will not be honest with ourselves. I chose that shoe because I want to look good. I was not thinking of God's glory at all. Let me tell you this, guaranteed. If you ask first, is this for the glory of God? Your choices will change. All of this about modesty. Modesty will be directed by the Spirit of God as you give yourself to Christ and allow Him to direct your choices, whether it's a tie or a shirt. I'm not an example of anything, but let me tell you. Because I travel a lot, I'm always on planes. Ellen White said to the preacher, when the preachers get up in the pulpit, she said, wear a dark suit because you make an effect even before you open your mouth. You have an effect on people. She said, let the effect be positive by the way you look. And all experts in psychology will agree with that now. And so I would ask God, Father, what tie should I wear on the plane? Literally. So I asked my wife, which tie? I've stood in the bathroom with 2 or 3 ties in my face. I said, Father, which one? I've actually had ties on and then taken them off because the Spirit said, not that one, this one. That tie may turn somebody off, literally. And so I ask, when I began doing that, you will not believe the experiences I've had. When I started asking God what shirt to wear and what tie and what suit, I would ask Him. Now, I can't say I heard a voice, but you get impressions. I was leaving, I think it was Nigeria. These things actually began happening to me. And I'm coming down with my little handbag, dressed. And the immigration guy saw me coming. He said, come, Bishop, come. So I said to him when I got to the desk, why do you call me Bishop? He said, it's obvious you're a preacher. I said, why do you say that? He said, the anointing is all over you. And he took off his cap. He said, bless me. And so I dropped a blessing on him. You see. I was in South Africa. These things began to happen. And I was coming again through security. And the guy said to me, come, preacher. When I got to him, I said, why do you call me preacher? He said, but you look like one. I said, okay. Then I went to another officer a little further down because you have multiple security checks. He said, come, preacher. He didn't hear my first interaction. I said, why do you call me preacher? He said, but you look like one. I said, okay. All this began to happen when I literally began to ask God, what tie? What shirt? What suit? I'm not joking. What am I telling you? Ask God when you stand in front of those dresses, which one should I pick? Forget Beyonce. Ask God, which one should I pick? Forget Little Nas. Ask God, what shirt should I buy? You know, forget whomever. Ask God, how should I fix my hair? Ask him. I'm telling you, if you listen, he'll tell you, not that. Not that. I've seen women in church on high heels so high. I said, Lord, if she wanted to commit suicide, she can just jump off those shoes. She doesn't need a building. Are you following me? Just jump off those shoes and she's dead. The things are so high. So I ask God, are you with me? And the Lord will direct you. He'll speak to your conscience. All right. God bless you.